Hello, I'm Dr. Ross Walker and welcome to the checkup. Hello, Dr. Ross Walker and welcome to the checkup. I'd like to talk today about a condition called frailty. Now, everyone has in their head what the concept of frail. You see an older person walking along with their walker, they're stooped over, they look very bent and they look like they're really struggling to get along. You say, oh, that person is frail. But what do we actually mean by frail? Well, the reality is our life expectancy now is about 80 for a male, 84 for a female. Of course, many people will live well beyond that and many people die beyond that. But on average, it's about 80, 84 male and female. But many people spend the last 20 years in their life in misery. And they live in the misery of chronic disease, going from one doctor's appointment to the next. So what are we talking about with frailty? Now, often people are frail beyond the age of 65, which these days is the new 35, hopefully, in my view it is. So let's talk about what frailty is. Well, we can go by the frail acronym. F stands for fatigue. So people who feel fatigued or tired most of the time. So, and you get 1 point for each of these, okay? And I'll explain to you what we mean by the end of it. So are you tired most of the time? R stands for resistance. Do you have difficulty getting up getting up out of a chair? Do you have difficulty walking up a flight of stairs? A stands for ambulation, which basically is walking. Can you walk a block around your neighborhood without any issues at all? I stands for illnesses. Now, do you have more than 5 or more illnesses? What am I talking about? High blood pressure, obesity, diabetes, arthritis, depression, any of those things. It can be any illnesses at all, but do you have 5 or more? And L stands for loss of weight. Have you lost more than 5% of your body weight unintentionally over the last 6 months? So if you score 1 for any of those, 1 or 2 for any of those, you are defined as what we call pre-frail. If you have 3 or more of those, you are defined as being frail. And people who are frail, people who are certainly pre-frail or frail, which is about 6% of people over the age of 65, would have 3 or more of those criteria for being frail. But then only about 50% of us would be considered robust, or in other words, they do have no features of frailty whatsoever. And when you see people who are frail, they're at much higher risk of all of the serious diseases, our common killers, which are heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's disease, diabetes, osteoporosis, all of these sort of conditions. And so therefore, it's important to know whether you're frail or pre-frail. And if you are frail, there's certainly a lot that you and your doctor can do about it. That's the checkup. We'll talk to you next week.